Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Where the fuck did your accent go?
Why is it when you get angry, you don't talk black anymore? Because I'm noticing that you're
because
like talking
I don't know. When I'm pissed, I just scream and get pissed. I can't help it. I don't know why my voice changes, but when I'm in different moods, my voice goes to different shit.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, talking is cheap. But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way. And I don't mean in the jest of hate. I mean according to the plan of divine providence. He that has been up a long time must come down. He that's been down a long time must rise.
If you are an American Negro and an American Negro only, subscribe to Rasslin Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and crackers that out on Twitter X. You can find more white truths.
She is sure not pretty, and her skirt is short. Lord knows the legs are steady. And to walk to school, she's got to get up early with clothes on, but they are never ever dirty. They're living just enough, that's enough for the city. My brother is smart. He's got more sense than me there. His patience is long, but soon he won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a haystack needle. 'Cause where he lives, they don't use colored people. They're living just enough for the city.
And now, our feature presentation.
But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way.
Look at the Michin stuff right now in regards to Jade, the actor, the Jade, the wrestler, and her beating up on the other lady that was talking smack about her, allegedly. Am I correct?
Yeah, so it's a Korean. I thought she was Chinese or something, but it's a Korean chick, and she mixed with black. So I'm trying to find this picture real quick of her father.
I posted it up there in Jumbotron.
So the way she come off, she come off talking about, hey sister girl, she got a little black tag team partner and shit. Sister girl,
she came from a very structured, household.
She came from a structured household.
On TV, she's all yo, what's up, dog?
Her father was in the military, and that's him down there. That's O.J. Simpson Jr. Her father was in the military, and he, was in the FBI. He worked in the game unit, and then he worked in the kidnapping unit, and then he worked in the cyber security and shit. And she grew up in a little suburb in West Virginia. This is on her Wikipedia, all of this. So she does come off like that. You know what I'm saying? And she's one of the ones, she told her story multiple times about how she was never accepted in the black community, and Bianca Belair was one of the ones that helped bring her to get to recognize that she's black and all that. And listen, she married to an American Negro man. Her father, then take a good look at the picture of her father. You know what I'm saying? His eyes do look like he got some Tiger Woods shit going on. I believe that he's mixed with Asian if you really look at the picture. But but I can't confirm that. But if she is an American Negro woman, and she does intend on reproducing with an American Negro man, I can't knock her. I didn't knock that. But the way that she's acting is completely out of pocket. Now, I do want to say that the way that I came at her was the fact that every single American Negro got a stereotype slapped on them, when these are not their true characters in real life. They're not even equipped for it. So they come off lame as a result. But why do you, as an Asian-looking woman, have to accept being into that stereotype? How do you feel about this, Michin?
You know what it reminds me of from a cultural standpoint? I'll point to the Spider-Man. She's a female Miles Morales. You get where I'm going at? All the positive attributes that make blackness cool, it exhibits. But when it comes to other things, they'll promote the language and the other things, and they complement that as well. And it's like a play. And I personally don't like it because it deflects away from the black community from its entirety. It's like, we'll take the coolness from the community, but we'll promote it on another ethnic group per se, or another person of color and stuff like that. And that's what kind of makes it, from my perspective, problematic, because now it wouldn't be that it's this black man, as in the black person who is a real black American, that's exhibiting these traits. No, this is a black person and somebody else. So now it blends other groups into our plight, into our talking points, using our colloquials and stuff like that. And that's kind of the problem, where it can fall into the lines of what people might call blackfishing, where other ethnic groups are cosplaying black people. Or one of the other terms I use is melanin minstrel face in my book, where they all do minstrel show-like behaviors in order and with the intentions of mimicking black folks from a negative perspective. That's when it becomes harmful. And so I think that she's kind of on that threshold based off of what I witnessed and saw in that little clip and the other things of that nature. It comes across as like they really don't want to have black people who are real black American people with all that swag and bravado, but they won't mind a half a black person, or a mulatto, or biracial, or quadroon, or somebody that's culturally ambiguous like a rock.
And I feel like, that's kind of a rule across entertainment. Negroes always have to have some kind of attachment to their identity to excel. You have to be gay and black, or half black. Or, it's just, you can never be, they don't want, a straight black man, coming out, walking with his head up, wearing a 3-piece suit, button down, with spats. They don't want clean cut, upstanding. They always want something they can discount or discredit as far as a Negro.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem that I'm seeing here. I'll even go one step further.
See, that's kind of what I was saying about, like, Trick Williams and Last Legend. You see two positive American Negroes, and they are clearly in love with each other, and they are clearly good at what they do in this business. And you got CM Punk, who talk. He could put on a good match, but you want to show their love on TV. His wife not shit. This bitch been gone for 10 years, and you bringing her back, and you gonna put her in prominent positions. This little teeny tiny bitch, when you got all these goddamn glamazons in the WWE right now.
He's atheist. He's one of these people who believe we were sent from monkeys.
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. They seem like they don't have nothing to do for these Negroes. That's why Wesley was fired. This is the reason that they gave. We don't have nothing to do for you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we were going into a situation where they forced the integration. They never wanted Trick Williams to succeed, yet he's succeeding. They never wanted Obafemi to succeed, yet he's succeeding. Like I said, they get into an undeniable situation. Javon Evans, they get into an undeniable situation. It's going to come to a point where Deion Lennox is going to come into an undeniable situation to where you have to do something with them, or you're going to have to be the bad guy and get rid of them.
I mean, CM Punk, for the longest, we were talking about shape earlier. He's been one. He's not athletic. He's not in particularly good condition physically. Why is he world champion?
He's world champion because the older Seth Rollins is not there. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see. We're gonna see with Brian Breaker and all this other different shit. It's about to get to it. We about to find out that Gunther not shit. We're about to get to it. We about to find out that Brunson Reed is not shit. My question is, why is Brunson Reed in the state that he's in? Before we get finished with that, real quick, Negro, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I did want to continue a little bit more about this because it seemed like it's a common practice where that even if the person's biracial or not, they'll even force it at where a black man or even a black woman has to marry outside of their race for them to be accepted or embraced in any form of entertainment or just any form of, I would say, business in the system.
Well, wait, they'll show black love before they show integrated love. Honor, if am I correct? Have they ever shown genuine integrational love?
I really can't think of a time where black wrestler with a white wife got over it.
I'm talking about on TV with each other though.
No, they don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened.
Subliminal, and I don't think it's by accident. That
we can't list the 100 of the greatest black wrestlers and with success of all times. I don't think we could do that.
Then my bad if I misspoke.
You're good because you bringing up the points that need to be exploited. Like, this is the purpose. You coming from the outside, anybody can see. Anybody without blue eyes can see that the racism is the number one problem in pro wrestling. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring up that angle. It's just like that with any form of entertainment. Once they're in control of it, it's a lot of like you could use like the hip hop industry. Once white people had like a stranglehold over the art form and stuff, now it's down to trash. Now it's not as good as it used to be. It's not even as profitable as it used to be, right? It's kind of like the same type of thing when it comes to entertainment, when they're taking over, having the authority, having executive decisions or the final say on an art form or a certain thing that they're not even privy to, right? And you see that it's slowly going down the drain and it's not as profitable anymore. And that's kind of the things I find that's very annoying a little bit, because they inject their racist ideologies more or less into something that is already fake to begin with, to almost like set up like a safe space or a safe world in which they control, and nobody doesn't want to come. People come here to be entertained, not to be indoctrinated. And I look at that as a form of indoctrination through entertainment, unfortunately.
Everybody know that wrestling is fake. Everybody know that wrestling is scripted. In real sports, like I said, we noted earlier that in integrated sports, genuine integrated sports, to where it's fair, we know is 96% more white in hockey than it is American Negroes. When it's the closer portion, Negroes tend to dominate. Black people all over tend to dominate any white. The Africans kicking the French people ass in soccer, ain't they?
I mean, Africans been kicking French people ass all over all year. I mean, they've been kicking them out of Africa since 2023.
Could that be a fair assessment?
Or could what be a fair assessment that she's mixed, and that's like?
Well, any views on how do you view mixed people?
I don't trust them personally. I feel like every mixed person I've met on varying degrees, have some sort of identity crisis, whereas they either assimilate in other cultures or they try to super blackify themselves because of their insecurity, because they never feel black enough, or they pick and choose when it benefits them. And like every single one falls on some degree of that sliding scale. I don't.
It's the same with like that Michin, Mitch, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say something earlier, but I was listening to what y'all was saying. I feel like Michin she's one of those people that like when Michin is a person that definitely doesn't have an identity. I've heard her say this in an interview. She's like, she doesn't feel like she's getting as over as she could because she doesn't have a personality in real life. She says she's mad boring in real life. She don't do shit but smoke weed and play video games. That's just who she is. And she doesn't know how to translate that to a character. So I feel like she's just emulating people that she sees around from wherever the fuck she's from, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Virginia or California or whatever she want to claim. And it's coming off cheesy to me. She don't talk like that on her Twitch streams when she's playing games.
I'm gonna check into that. And I'm pretty sure she wasn't raised like that either. And like I said, hey, listen, that's quite disrespectful. I don't have an issue acknowledging that she's a black woman specifically because she's with a black man. But her black man character is to not speak like that. Like, it's like he damn near discouraged you, right?
Yeah.
So now if that's just the gimmick, then he doing goddamn good. But, at the end of the day, she does need to find her identity. But at the same time, I understand because that's how people expect. When they look at her like I stated. She's a China woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard to navigate. I understand. But what can I do? Her fight is not my fight. You say, well, Owner?
No, I feel like that hurt Keith Lee in the WWE because he's not he's super smart. He reads books and lift weights. Like he's a scholar. He's an academic. Like
even Tony Khan. That's why he's not on TV because Tony Khan said the same thing. Look, nigga, you gonna have to do more than indubitably. And motherfucker, pull your pants down. Like, why don't your ass crack show when you bend over?
It's indubitably.
No, I'm just saying that's serious though because I believe that's why Cedric Alexander was released. I believe that's why Ashanti Adonis, who fought in Afghanistan, was released. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wonder because street profits aren't street niggas. And while we looking at Angelo, not only are we looking at Angelo Dawkins incoming release, but we looking at them not having nothing to do for Montez Ford.
He's 35, man. He ain't got too much time to be the face of the company. They might give him a sympathy title run at 37, 38, but by then it's not gonna matter.
And it's kind of fucked up that you gotta say that because we was just talking about LA Knight.
Yeah.
And it's feasible that can happen for LA Knight, but it's impossible for it to happen for an American Negro. I did say how many American Negro wrestlers have been celebrated into their 40s and 50s and shit. Like, we on our way out the door. We got money, our truth is crazy. That R-Truth did what he did tonight when he could have did that as a producer. They gotta put you back on the plantation because we don't want you in the house.
Yeah, and to go back a little bit, the Ashanti release didn't make any sense to me because not only was he in Afghanistan, he fought Taliban. Like, he was in foxholes getting shot at. He has a medal, because if you get shot at in infantry, you get a medal, you get awarded. He was a D1 athlete. Like, every athletic endeavor that they look for in their recruits, he excelled in all of them.
it's like they look at a Negro and they can't fathom that they could place them in the position. You know, with the shape that, you know, John Cena got one of the greatest physiques in the pro wrestling history. You know, WWE got a hell of a find when they found him. You know, he found some passion. Because, John Cena, I don't think that John Cena wanted to be a wrestler when he was 10 years old. I don't think he wanted to be a wrestler when he was 20 years old. You know, he came in and he found some passion. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena got one of the greatest physiques of all time. Ron Killings, you know, when he was sitting in that prison, I don't think he wanted to be the greatest wrestler of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I don't think he, ever thought that he could be. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever thought that he could be a wrestler or even it came across his mind. But he came in and he got really good at his craft. A puppet could only be as good as their string, the person that's pulling the strings. You know what I'm saying? John Cena had the greatest puppet master over him, and I guess their fingers got tired by the time it got to Ron Killings. You know, Ron Killings is in one of the greatest shape in wrestling history too, and maintained that to this day at the age of 55 or some shit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Over half a century.
Yeah. So he could rap.
Yeah.
Different songs.
Yeah, he had a country album, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh.
And he helped produce Carmella and Naomi songs too.
He can rap different songs every year after year after year. You know, can John Cena do an album today? Now that he in retirement, I challenge John Cena to record an album in retirement.
He know he needs a writer. He needed the trademark.
I just challenge him to record it. Record it. You could have fucking you could have JD write the shit. You could have JD write the shit. I don't give a fuck.
John Cena Christmas album.
Written by Jermaine Dupri. Written and produced by Jermaine Dupri. Motherfucker.
Featuring the Brat.
Oh man. Featuring Britney Spears. Come on.
They was just flexing his album. The first rapper to ever go platinum and never have a follow-up album.
Well, because he did what he needed to do to get on. That's all he needed to do, and he turned into the greatest white man in the history of white men. Because he gonna come and see your children, and then when you're gone, he's gonna come back to see your mother. So, John Cena, what do you want to say about John Cena overall? He's gone now. He's dead, right? He's dead to you, right?
He dead for sure.
But with John Cena losing his last match, but it's just everything just came off so bad. The tournament would shine Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Negroes that they aren't going to do shit with.
Yes.
It's terrible. But going to Michin right quick, all I asked was, why is this China woman talking like that? Now, a bunch of people corrected me and saying that she's Korean and stuff. But then, her Korean, but their main thing was she's black. And, I also asked because Jade Cargill beat the dog out of her last night. I also asked, is Jade Cargill going to be charged with the hate crime? Because they got the Asian anti-hate crime bill. And white folk were telling me, hey, she's black. She's black. I said, well, does that disqualify her from the anti-hate crime bill? Now, only one person, responded and said yes. Owner, is Michin still protected under the Asian hate crime bill?
To the best of my knowledge, she isn't eligible for that, but she is eligible for the discrimination against people with special needs bill.
Really? No, I'm serious. I want to know, is her being mixed with black? disqualify her. I want to know this because
That's
you know
what
y'all
it
want to
seems
sit
be,
up here and call her a black woman, but is she not protected like a black woman?
You know, that's what seems to be whatever you mix with. As soon as you get a drop of blackness, you know, under this white
Well, I want to
supremacy.
state this on her Wikipedia. If y'all take a look at the screen, Michin father was an FBI agent. He worked in the gangs department, and he also worked in the cybersecurity, and he worked in the kidnapping department. So for the gangs, you know, obviously that was geared toward arresting and killing Negroes. And then he moved over to the sexual predator. I'm sorry, the white people crimes, which is kidnapping and cyber issues. So, and it says that she grew up in the suburb in Virginia. So, and it says that her father was strict on her because he was around so many gang members and shit like that. So it appears that she was discouraged away from this type of behavior. And it appears that the only reason that she is talking like this is to prove that she's black.
That's interesting.
Now this bitch sent me a disrespectful, you know, comment saying that, oh, I know you're an idiot or some shit like this, bitch. I said there's so many black people being stereotyped in the WWE right now. Jay Cargill don't talk like that.
No.
Around her parents. Bianca Belair don't talk like that around her parents.
It's a straight A student.
The Street Profits don't act like that in real life.
That was really them. Naomi. That's why she pulled it off. So that's why she was so captivating when she really let loose. Started.
I was showing my brother Montez Ford, and the first thing he said was he was a fucking geek. You know, most of these people, and we don't put these people down. These black people, it's a stereotype that. My point is all these stereotypes. Y'all putting these stereotypes on people who genuinely don't act like this. Javon Evans been into wrestling since he was 13. His parents are pastors.
Like he's not a YN. He wasn't toting the switch, jumping off the porch and shit. He was in the house playing. He was probably playing.
You can tell that the WWE asked these people to emphasize most of the stuff that Trick Williams say. You can ask. You could tell that they literally asked these people to emphasize their lingo. So you're falling under this shit. I'm trying to get people to stop doing that shit. And you, to prove that you're black, have to try to act like that. What does that say about people's views and stereotypes of black people?
Definitely don't look at it with a broad brush.
I don't say people talk white and stuff. You know, when people sit up here and say because of how Negro sound, his voice and his vernacular and stuff and the way that he speak, that he's white?
I don't think that, but a person coming from ignorance may say that, but I would highly disagree.
And that's what we're trying to highlight. You know, Michin is ignorant. She's got blind.
She's a very ignorant woman.
She's either got blind.
But imagine if it was three or more. Imagine if it was 3 or more Koreans.
Wait. I just realized something. And I'm gonna.
Well, I'm just saying. Imagine if it was 3 or more Koreans in the WWE. She had developed the first Rice Bowl match.
But real quick though, you said earlier that her father was like this type of person who was in the FBI. At first it sounded like some COINTELPRO shit, but he was in the gang sector. Why does Michin come out with flags hanging out her back pocket?
Hey, I didn't even notice that. I just found out about her father's profession today. So, you know, as the time roll on Rasslin with racism, we are going to focus more on these cosplayers.
Yes,
we're going to start getting into these people. We're also going to start getting into the people that don't fit the stereotypes and why they are still put into those roles, such as Trick Williams. And we're not saying nothing against Trick Williams, but everyone take a look at this. Lash Legend already stated, and this coming from Trick Williams' mama, that he's not from the hood. You know, he grew up in what, D1 athletics, didn't he?
Yep, that's that suburbs to me.
Trick is like putting on like a street tough guy image. He's more like a slickster, you know.
Yes.
The way I speak, like he reminds me a lot of.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he didn't come up like that or come up around it.
I mean, he probably wasn't man on campus and all that. You know, he probably wasn't the most part, but he has embodied this character that has this swagger and this confidence about himself, and I think it's really doing wonders. I'm a huge Trick supporter.
Wow, I just realized something when you just said that. You know, the black people in this company, they have their own niches. And if you have your own niche, it pretty much makes you easy to write. Like the New Day, those are blurs. Those are black nerds. Easy to write. But yet they're failing. Montez Ford and I can't think of his name right now, but I love his work. But the Street Profits, that's black college culture. That's HBCU culture that writes itself. But they're failing.
Where are the Street Profits?
I haven't seen them in a month.
They have been missing since October. And you know, last year around this time, this is when you guys started getting implemented into the program. We were starting to take note that the Street Profits were missing. And you know, white folk will always come at you with they're being repackaged. Well, white folk told me the same thing last year. And you know, I just know that this is coming to the end for Angelo Dawkins, and that is unfortunate. That is truly unfortunate that this is going to be the end for him, because you know he put a lot of work behind him, and you know it's got to affect him psychologically when people always tell you that you ain't never gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? This is putting WWE right now. The WWE is dealing with forced integration because you know last year we could say, "Oh, Trick Williams need another year in NXT," and we could say that Javon Evans need another year in NXT, and we could say that Obafemi need another year in NXT. But they have outperformed whatever you thought that you wanted them to be, and now you can't deny them being in the WWE.
Let me expand on your point. The WWE had a PLE last week called, a couple of weeks ago, Survivor Series War Games. And the only thing I'm hearing from white folks and black folks was Lash Legend's debut.
Well, like I said, over the last month and a half, I kind of needed you to let me finish building.
My bad.
Over the last month and a half, the only people that have pulled intrigue between this tournament and, you know, Survivor Series is American Negroes. Lash Legend has been the only talk.
Yes.
When it come down to SmackDown, you know, Soul Ruka and Julia and all these people been on SmackDown over the last couple of months. Don't nobody give a shit. They only been giving a shit about Lash Legend. You got Javon, Carmelo Hayes. You know, people been noticing that he haven't been doing shit. He been stuck on this stuff with The Miz, and he got a lot of hype behind Gunther. And Gunther even tried to sabotage him a couple of times in that match. But he still came out with the most noise in the tournament. Same thing with Javon Evans, who had a really good performance against Gunther. You know, white folk are generally getting tired of white. They don't realize it. Same reason why they don't realize they advocating for certain whites, because they're white. You know.
We here at Rasslin with Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Rasslin with Racism, as we can assure you that Rasslin with Racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Rasslin with Racism aim to exploit white truths.
For the city.
However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through.
Some days are 14 hours.
As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Rasslin with Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at non-crackers@al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Rasslin with Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is.